Well, good morning. It's May 10th, about 7:30 in the morning. Thought we'd take a look at the agricultural pursuits here at the homestead. Things are looking pretty good, so we'll take a little tour. First off, the potatoes. Up and doing well. Doing very well. And we'll pan around. 1, 2, 3, 5 beds of potatoes. These are later potatoes. And this is the garlic, which is really doing well this year. And more garlic, and these are baby garlics that will be replanted in the fall. A few flowers for your ma. Oh, a couple of big compost piles working. And now, strawberries, looking good. Don't know if you can see, but it's full of blossoms, so maybe in a month we'll have some strawberries. Now that's one bed. The next bed is carrots coming up, Swiss chard, this is the cauliflower, which is doing really well. Cabbages all heading up. Broccoli already starting to head out. Let me see if I can get a shot. I don't know if you can see it. Right down in there, it's already starting to form the heads. Kale and pak choy. We've been eating that for over a week now. And then come around to the next bed, and the peas are doing wonderfully. They're already about a foot high with lettuce interspersed. More peas, more peas. This is kale, a type of kale, and collards, and Savoy cabbage heading up nicely. Portuguese kale, dill, radishes and beets all coming up nicely. And of course, wouldn't have a garden without a big bed of onions that you'll notice are laid out like the Normandy cemetery. So you look that way, it's a line. That way is a row, and so on. And on the next bed we have more cauliflower for later, a later season when the others go. And then we get down to all the different types of pepper plants with lettuce interspersed. And then the tomato beds with the trellises ready to go. A shot of the onion bed. They're coming on really nicely. Out of several hundreds of plants, I think I only lost about 6. So the different types of tomato plants coming up nicely. And then here's an experiment. These shouldn't be here. These are string beans, which are a hot season crop. And they're well up and going, but I started those under lights and transplanted them, so that worked out pretty good. And red cabbage. And these are big storage cabbages, which I got about a dozen of them. And they're going to be used to make sauerkraut. Hopefully we'll actually get it canned this year. And here's an experiment this year. A nice bed of celery, which is coming along really nice. And then we get to a nice bed of shallots. Looks just like onions, but they're shallots. And we'll come around the corner. Oh, this is the outdoor worm bin. One of my sources of fertility. A couple of empty beds waiting for later crops. More string beans that were started under lights, and corn, also experimental, Started these in the basement under lights, and they're doing fantastically. Around here, people are just thinking of planting corn, and this stuff is, some of it's almost a foot high. So, we'll see. And then of course we got the bed of asparagus, which was a bit neglected, not doing too well. So I had to fertilize it. I had to replace some of the roots this year. And there's a big pile of leaves that are going to get ground up and made more. And of course in the distance you see the remains of the beehives. Sad day, I lost all my bees this winter. And I was going to replace them, but I'm not going to this year. Maybe next year. Got to cut back on something. Over in the distance are the berry plants. Take a look at those. Grass is getting high. Everything's nice and wet out here. We've had 2 days of welcome rain after a big dry spell. That damn pool. I'd love to tear that thing down. Okay, here we have a row of blackberries, which I planted last year, so should we get berries this year. And here's a row of raspberries that I planted 2 years ago. We got raspberries last year. We should get a nice crop this year. And then another variety of raspberries which are later, so it'll extend the season. These I planted last year, so we'll get berries this year. So we'll get blackberries and 2 raspberries, plus the strawberry bed. Anyway, that white thing is an experimental shade thing for making compost. Well, anyway, we'll see how that works. So, that's it for now. And we'll bring you up to date in another month maybe. Talk to you later.